Now we're going to go ahead and look at the other 5 OLLs that are not little fish or big fish, and then also look at their 3x3 equivalent. So if you look at the corner stickers, you'll see all of these are the same. Now many of the algs we do exactly the same for the 3x3 as the 2x2, but a few of them there's some shortcuts for the 2x2 because we don't have to worry about mixing up the edge pieces. So real quick, just to name them, this is double fish, no fish, bug eyes, chameleon, chameleon's ugly brother. Okay, for double fish, we're going to learn a more efficient method that works on the 3x3, then apply it to this. And then we're going to learn a special method that's much faster that only works on the 2x2. So when we do double fish, we perform little fish twice. But we have a lot of wasted moves, namely this U, right prime right, and U. So that's a lot of movement just to get right here. So what we're going to do is just eliminate those 2 U's, right prime and right, and the other U. Whether you can see that or not, that is little fish twice, just minus the unnecessary moves. So on here, so that's a much more efficient way to do it, but we're going to learn a much faster method. Okay, the 2x2 algorithm works on this cube but not the 3x3 because it will mess up these edge pieces. We don't have edges to worry about, but we have to hold it a little bit differently. We have to put the 2 corners forming a bar facing us and to the back, and then perform R2, U2, R, U2, R2, and they're solved. We just have to remember that we hold it differently than we do on the 3x3 cube. The reason that won't work on the 3x3 cube is because it'll mess up the edges. So you can see we have all 4 corners up, but we've messed up our edges. Okay, so now to perform no fish. We'll do it on the 3x3 cube first. Notice on this move we start by doing a double layer front turn, then a single layer front turn. On the 2x2 we don't have a middle layer, so we can't do a double layer turn. So we just do the move and then we turn around and do it again. As you can see, there's a few wasteful steps in there that we'll eliminate. There's no need to do the front prime front. So what we'll do is eliminate the unnecessary turns and shorten it to this. And it's easy to practice to set up. You just do the same move, turn the top 180. Same thing to solve it. Next we have bug eyes, which for me is the most difficult OLL for the 3x3, and it's even more difficult on the 2x2, but luckily there's an easy shortcut. So first I'll teach the 3x3 method. That solves it. That's a little difficult to do on here just because it's so small. That gets all the yellows on top. But the simple yellow cross algorithm that we learned for the 3x3 actually solves bug eyes on the 2x2. And to set it up, you just do the algorithm again. Front, right prime, up prime, front prime. Move the top and then F, R, U, R prime, U prime, F prime. So that's probably the easiest one you'll do. And again, the reason that doesn't work on the 3x3 is because of the edge pieces. So here we have all the corners up, but not our edges. Close, but no cigar. Next we have chameleon, which gets its name because somebody thought it looked like a chameleon with the eyes on the side. The algorithm I'm going to use is exactly the same for the 3x3 and the 2x2. This one's going to look a little more difficult than it really is, but again, we're going to combine steps. So even though that's 8 turns, we're going to make it 4 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4. And for this, 1, 2, 3, 4. Performing the algorithm twice sets it up. If you do it once, it makes what we call chameleon's ugly brother. We named it that because performing chameleon makes it, plus the eyes are all fugly. We perform chameleon again, it makes chameleon, and then we can solve it. I don't know of a better way to do that on the 2x2. So now for chameleon's ugly brother, we'll just perform chameleon. We turn this sticker to the back. Hold it like this. And that's chameleon's ugly brother. The method to solve this is real similar. Again, we're going to combine moves into 4 steps. Now it's solved on this cube. And then when we perform chameleon's ugly brother, it actually makes chameleon. So that's a quick and easy way to practice. If I do chameleon again, it makes chameleon's ugly brother. Do that, solves it. Do chameleon's ugly brother algorithm, and it makes chameleon. So you can get pretty quick just by repetitively practicing those. Okay, so with all the yellows facing up, if I perform chameleon, it makes chameleon's ugly brother. Just rotate it, hold it properly, and then perform that algorithm. It's solved. Now if I perform chameleon's ugly brother again, it makes chameleon. Now if I do chameleon again, it makes chameleon's ugly brother. Okay, so now that we've learned chameleon and chameleon's ugly brother, let's look at this where there's no 2 corners the same forming a bar. So one method we learned was to just do the algorithm twice, find 2 corners, put them to the back, and then do it again. Another method that's just a few moves quicker is to perform chameleon's ugly brother, then chameleon. And that fixes them all. So if you don't know chameleon or chameleon's ugly brother, it's not worth learning it just for this. Just go ahead and do this twice. But if you already know it for the 3x3, then it is worth it. Alright, so we don't have any 2 corners the same. Doesn't matter how you hold it. You'll always have 2 solved corners and then 2 unsolved. And the way you position it when you do this is irrelevant. So you perform chameleon's ugly brother algorithm and then immediately the chameleon algorithm. And now all your corners will be fixed. On the 3x3 you'll have to do your edges, but on the 2x2 you're finished. Okay, so now just to get a little bit better understanding what we're actually doing when we shuffle corners. When we find two the same and we put them to the back, we're not actually just swapping these two. You can't only swap two pieces. You have to move three. So this one will move here, this one will move here, and this one will move here. So if you watch that, this green red will not stay in that same location. This is the red side. And then see, the reds are over here because they shuffled. So for example, if we hold it like this, this is the only piece that will not move. So if we like, we can line it up here just for demonstration purposes, and then watch that this will move over here, which will be correct. This will move here, which will be correct. And then this will move here, which will be correct. That one stayed, the other three moved. It can be a little deceiving and you think these two just trade. Okay, we're going to go over some different methods to insert pieces into the first layer. We can do the beginner method of slapping the white side. We can move this out of the way, bring the empty slot up and back the piece in. We can just rotate down, insert right here, but before doing so, move this out of the way, move it down, and then move that back. Alternatively, we could just move it down, move this out of the way, bring it back, and move that back. If we have an up-facing sticker that needs to go here and this one is not solved, we can just move it back here and rotate it 180 degrees. When we've just got one more to go in the bottom layer and we see it here on the back and the empty slots on the back, instead of rotating the whole cube in your hand, just go ahead and do a back insert. Okay, so if you have any questions, just ask in the comments. Be sure to check out our 3x3 tutorial. And if there's anything else you'd like to see a video on, just let me know in the comments. In the video, if you notice, these cubes sound a little different. This one has been oiled with silicone oil, but it leaks out a little bit and gets on my hands. So when I bought some extras for this video, I just left them dry. I probably should have oiled them though. That sounds pretty annoying, and it is. It's a lot more catchy and a little harder to solve. A little bit of oil goes a long way. This Rubik's brand Speed Cube actually feels pretty good out of the box, but it actually feels a lot better than this out of the box. But we need a little bit of oil on it. You can actually make a 2x2 trainer just by peeling stickers off a budget 3x3. This is one we built back in 2008 as a trainer, and then these I just purchased recently for this video. So here's a trainer with no centers. Here's one with centers. If you have a hard time remembering your colors or whatnot, but just go ahead and take a little time to memorize it. It's not difficult. Blue, orange, green, red. Bogger. Blue, orange, green, red.